Hey guys, so time and time again, the gray watch market has shown that the customer is always the last one. So we saw from Anthony, we're seeing from other gray market watch dealers, right, with consignment, that the customer is basically stolen from, they're lied to, they're cheated, and all that money for that luxury lifestyle, all those G-Wagons and Ducatis, and I mean, that whole lifestyle is not sustainable. And the reason that the gray market pushes this lifestyle onto the audience is because the audience probably thinks, wow, these guys are really wealthy. They definitely won't steal money from me. They're loaded. And the more loaded they seem, the more Ducatis. I mean, why does a man need 6, 7, 8 Ducatis at one time? Who really knows? The luxury lifestyle, the Mercedes Benz, even Liz and Darby, right? They get the memo, right? The memo is you got to pretend that you are insanely wealthy, and then that will attract consignment pieces to you. That has been shown to be a fraud. The customers are the gray market does not give a damn about the customers. I remember back at these watch dealerships and they were trading watches with each other. There was never even a customer at this dealership or at these shows. They were just watch dealers selling watches to each other, and then that watch dealer sells to another watch dealer, and there was actually no end customer. The only thing that was happening was these watch prices were getting more and more and more insane. And I think that's kind of where I sit with this is I think a lot of the practices from Roman Sharf hiring Avi, or probably they don't need to hire Avi, right? It's just part of his job to fake an AD at Rolex. How many of those phone calls are fake? I mean, I hear all the time, oh, Roman owns a $100 million company. Does he really? Does he really? Because I know a $100 million company can at least afford an actor to pretend to be a fake AD and would definitely not use one of their employees, right? Just some food for thought, right? They could afford that, and definitely the layoffs, the raffles, this is not a good sign, and it really comes down to the customers have been blanked in the butt by these gray market watch people. And I know that some people say, oh, look at this gray market deal. I don't know. I mean, the gray market dealers that I cover in my channel, Anthony, and specifically, they really do. I mean, not only do they steal from the customer, Wesley, they steal almost $1 million of watches, according to the FBI. They then get angry at Wesley because Wesley clearly didn't give him enough time. And it was Wesley's fault that Anthony cannot pay any of these people back. Right? Again, you're talking about a person who was victimized for almost $1 million. And this is the person that Anthony's blaming for the reason he is not successful in life. Not himself. And just focus on Anthony. He's kind of exposed something really, really dark about the market, is that he's selling these watches not because he's a great salesman, right? He's selling them at massive discounts to his friends, his other gray watch market dealers. And these dealers, they're in a lose-lose situation. Let me explain this. If you are being offered a $225,000 watch for $100,000 in debt, and you take that, you either know it's stolen or you're so stupid you should be out of the market. So I don't know how these watch dealers are still making money if they cannot identify that there is a big delta between the watch Anthony's giving you and the money he owes you. This kind of shows a lack of ethics, a lack of maybe even education in terms of the watch market. Maybe they don't know the watch market is that expensive. And that's what we have. We have three dudes on the couch from a deleted podcast for 50 minutes. They sat here. They wasted Roman's money for probably over an hour. These are people who could have been doing sales, but they're making content. And I think I can honestly say it looks like the customers are the ones getting abused. They're the ones, the old trick, right, where Anthony learned was if a customer asks for a watch back, don't give it back to them. Say, oh, we almost have a sale. And then they say, oh, no, I really want my watch back. And then say, oh, it's sold. today. It's amazing, right? It just sold. Wow, congratulations. It sold while I was on the phone with you. There are so many shady things that Anthony has exposed, even unknowingly. So the Jordan guy, another gray market vendor, right? And the fact that he's willing to take a watch and all the text messages, and it's interesting that Anthony thinks he's the good guy, right? He's going to expose the ADs, he's going to expose other watch dealers, he's going to expose the Italian couple, which actually turned out to be true, by the way. And there is so much gray in the gray market that I seriously would never ever advise anyone to, I mean, unless you really trust them. But understand this, even if the people are making YouTube videos, even if they got purses galore and their wives are on camera with them, when the insurance decides not to pay out, you're the one on the hook, not them. You didn't choose the insurance provider, you didn't choose the policy. But when your watch gets stolen, you are the one who pays the price. And it could be the whole price. There is a scenario in the Alpha Crown robbery where no one gets paid out, or some people are not paid out at all, because perhaps the insurance company is not going to cover that type of behavior. So back to kind of where I feel we should get to. The gray market has been exposed by Anthony as incredibly shady, incredibly a lot of these gray areas that should not exist. This consignment model does not make any sense. It should not make sense to anyone. You are giving your watch to a gray market dealer, and even if they have insurance, so number one, do they even have insurance? Did you check? Probably not. Anthony has never had insurance, I believe. Who would insure a two-time felon? I mean, what type of insurance would Anthony even be able to get? I mean, he's carrying the watches in bags with him. Remember the whole, I put $2 million of watches in a bag and it got stolen from me. Like, who would insure somebody like that? Like, what type of insurance company, even if it was stolen like that, it wouldn't be insured, because I'm sure the carry policy is not $2 million. And that's why Anthony's saying it's stolen, because he feels like he can get away with it. There is so much dirty stuff in the gray market that, like, I just cannot imagine anyone using it. ADs, they have watches again. They're affordable. They're, honestly, with the AD, at least you know that if something goes wrong, or if the watch is not authentic, or something is wrong with the watch, they will fix it. The customer service in the gray market is just ludicrously bad. You have Liz and Darby. I mean, the fact that Liz and Darby, with their level of intelligence, can make a watch luxury store, right? A gray market. The fact that they can be getting gray market dealers, with Liz having almost no sales experience except failing, and Darby only being a videographer, should tell you the barrier to entry in this marketplace is very low to little. And to bribe these people, all you have to do is pay for their dinners, pay for their hotel rooms, pay for their flight. And then suddenly they only have good things to talk about. They only have good things to talk to you about. The gray market, I mean, if you keep buying from the gray market, don't run to me when somebody F'd you over at this point in time. There is just not there's just no one, in my opinion, who would give the temptation, the way the gray market is set up, to where the consignee doesn't actually know in real time that their watch is sold, and therefore you can take an interest-free loan. Not every consignee is going to call you all the time and ask, do you sell my watch? Do you sell my watch? The fact that many consignees are just not aware of what's happening, and they're left holding the bag, and they're left with these emails from Anthony saying that he put everybody's watch in a bag and the bag got lost, just tells you how disrespected the consignees are. They're so stupid. They thought Anthony had lost their watches by just randomly putting in a bag for no reason, even though it's supposed to, in the contract, is supposed to be in the vault, the safe. So the question I would ask is, why do you take my watch from the safe where the contract said it would be and put it into the bag? which then you lost. And then that turned out to be a lie. It turned out he actually didn't lose the watches, and he had been selling them the whole time and keeping the money. There are just so many liars in this area, and there's so many felons and so many criminals. I think Paul's son is a criminal who also like did something with Rolexes. Maybe we'll make a video about that. But like look at Anthony's team. Trevor is a criminal. Like you can't make that. Like what other industry? Like seriously, what other industry has that many criminals in it? Minus sports cards, of course. Sports cards, there are a lot of criminals apparently. A lot of former criminals. So I really, really don't know like what else to say. Like if you look at your right, it's Anthony, criminal. You look at your left, it's Trevor, criminal. At some point in time, you just gotta ask yourself, why am I in this business, and why is everyone in this table a criminal? You know, there are police reports, arrest records. There's, and not only criminal, they don't have any humbleness, right? So in any business, customers should come first. So let me take Alpha Crown. Robbery happens. You need to make the customers whole. That is your situation. You could have done something to protect their watches better. I never wish that on anyone. But let's look at the videos which have now been deleted. And you know the videos have been deleted because people have criticized them. You know they're deleting comments because they're criticized. And this is the problem of the gray market. They will never learn and they will never behave because there's still stupid people consigning with them. There's still people buying watches with them. I mean, there is major concern that like Anthony does not know how to authenticate a watch. So anyone buying or selling watches to him should be concerned. Any watch that Anthony has touched could either be stolen, could be a Franken watch. They don't know. You don't know. And I really look at Anthony and I say that he is actually not, I mean, he's a symptom of the problem. But the problem is the responsibility. The problem is the reliability of these gray watch market. It only got this bad for Anthony because people allowed it to get bad. Had any of these Roman Sharp characters or Paul characters called Anthony out on the obvious illegal things he was doing at the time, maybe we have a different story. And then, I mean, you look at Alpha Crown, they made such a big deal about not wearing consignment watches. They had like a homeless poster about it. They had a whole video about consignment. It's not a song. And then, God bless, man, but then they get hit up. And those consignment dudes, at least 2 of them, are out of money still. And they're just waiting for some type of random decision by the insurance company. I mean, it's out of their control at this point in time. They would have been way better off selling it themselves. They would have been way better off just selling it. They would at least have cash on hand, which is a guarantee, as opposed to maybe the insurance pays out in the next 2 months or who knows how long they investigate. They haven't even investigated yet. The insurance is now just trying to determine if there's coverage, right? And then that will be determined first week of December. Yeah, I mean, I saw an episode today. Alpha Crown, they're happy as shit, man. They're happy as pigs in mud, selling their purses and so on. They couldn't give a shit about the consignees. I mean, if they did, pay them out. It's really that easy. If you're going to flash the cars, the watches, the Ducatis, you're going to flash that you're rich and wealthy and you're, I mean, if you can afford to pay them out, pay them out. Right? Don't start no Kickstarter or GoFundMe for like an electric bike for a kid. Just buy the electric bike for the kid. Like, I don't get it. Like, you're either really rich and wealthy and can afford to pay out these consignees, or you're not. And if you're not, why are you pretending you are? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, I'm very confused as to the double life of these. What's going on here? All these watch deal, they talk about $1 million in deals, $1 million company, $100 million. And they talk about how big they are. Is luxury watch consignment a scam? That did not age very well at all. And God bless they didn't take down the video, but they took down the other videos involving the actual robbery. And it's the gray market. They call it the gray market for a reason. It's not black or white. It's gray.